All right, so I just got this in my feed. Um, so it's the trailer from WWE 2K24. I think we're just about ready for 2K25 now to launch, or maybe it has already. I don't know. But here's the thing, right? So this trailer, I'm gonna play it without the sound to kind of don't want any copyright issues. All right, so. Alright, so it goes through different superstars, showcasing like who you'd probably be fighting and like a POV of you getting your ass handed to you. But um, so these are the top stars in the company, right? As of 2024. Alright, so when I'm showing this, so there's this thing in wrestling called a jobber, right? Now, a jobber, um, give me a second here. Just make sure. All right. Okay. So a jobber is a person that in pro wrestling, a jobber is a person that is not really seen as a person who would get to like the top. Like they're not a Roman Reigns, right? That would get to the top of pro wrestling. They're the ones that uh, help to make good big top stars look good, or up and coming top stars look good, right? They help to push or promote more prominent or put over more prominent superstars. So the idea is they come in to help to make the good guys look better, the bad guys look more devious, that kind of thing. So it gave me an idea. Well, not give me, it didn't give me an idea, but I had this idea from beforehand. And it kind of, brought me back to this idea that I had. So I brought this idea into ChatGPT. I asked it, "Do you know what a jobber is in pro wrestling?" And it said, "Yes, a jobber is a wrestler whose primary role is to lose matches to establish other wrestlers, typically more prominent or higher profile performers. Jobbers often have little no storyline involvement and are often used as enhancement or are often used to enhance the credibility of the winning wrestler. In the term can also refer to wrestlers who are brought in to fill a card, right? Or to provide competition but are not expected to win. Jobbers play an important role in storytelling aspects of wrestling, helping to elevate status and establish more elevate the status of more established stars. All right. So yeah, they're very important. They're not really seen as how to put this. They're not really features as prominently. They're more the background. But it's one of those things that or in Star Wars, the jobbers would be the soldiers that are always shooting and always missing. But without those soldiers, can you imagine how boring Star Wars would be? If you just only had the top stars, the Skywalker, the Darth Vader alone, how boring the story would be without them. So it's pretty much the same concept, right? So I had an idea. So what if there was a story about jobbers, kind of like Agents of Shield? So Agents of Shield is this story about the who does the cleanup after the Marvel Avengers, after they go to a city and they do their you know damage of damage to infrastructure, damage to people's lives. Who goes in and does the cleanup? What if we had like a story about like that about jobbers, about like the jobbers that have really interesting background stories about why they became jobbers, interesting stories that the world would never get to hear because um, you know because they never really get to share their story on perform on the biggest stage. They never get a chance to share those stories. So I had this concept: what if I, told that story? So I brought in ChatGPT. ChatGPT said, "Cool. Sounds like a good, introspective story that would highlight the struggles, sacrifices, and also the love for wrestling, right? Because these are people that, just like the top stars, or just like you as a wrestling fan, also love wrestling. So what about they would, be people that love wrestling, and they have their own thoughts about the business, their own philosophies around the wrestling business, like loyalty to the craft, and maybe they had once a promising career that went off track. Maybe um, they also had dreams of becoming, next Roman Reigns or bigger than Roman Reigns, but they never really got that push, or something went wrong in their life and went off track, and uh, a deeper reason, maybe that's a health, family, life happens, and a personal redemption, right? A contrast between the grandeur of the big stage and their backstage lives, where they are essentially overlooked, could make a compelling drama, especially the moments where they come close to breaking out and are held back by circumstances. You could also weave in themes like loyalty to the business, unrecognized talent, even politics behind pro wrestling, all while maintaining that the underdog tone, right? Because they these are guys that are in the business, that maybe are in the indies, that maybe get brought into maybe Raw for just one show in their entire career. Maybe they're brought in for dark matches, and that's where they'll get that chance to be in this ring with those bigger superstars. So even though they may not get that chance to, like, be John Cena or Roman Reigns, they get to a chance to compete against them in this sense. So yeah, so I said I was playing with the ideas, maybe mix of both. These guys could uh, pull these. Um, all right. So I was saying these guys could have, yeah, big dreams of being like biggest stars in the industry, who never got the chance to advance further. Maybe some are genuinely happy with the roles. Some are still trying to cross over. Some ready to quit but can't. Some are forced to quit because of family health or obligations. Some become like jaded, uh, you know, and some are having to like guide the next generation of jobbers who the grammar on this is really bad, but ChatGPT understands. Godly, thankfully, ChatGPT can understand what I'm trying to say. So it's not only them having to understand their role, but also to like guide the next generation of, let's say, hopeful next top stars that end up becoming jobbers also, or uh, maybe people that going to wanting to be, could maybe even have people that want to be jobbers, and this is uh, what that story look like. So I brought those layers into the story. So it, um, so yeah, so it also ChatGPT also said I could like explore the industry, shapes their identity and self worth, like older jobbers mentoring or clashing with newer generation that still have fire and ambition. So like the younger generation may still want to like cross over and become like big stars. Like, what would that look like? Um, I know I'm kind of yapping, but this is all right. If you look at this, I like have a session like this like every couple of days, going through like ideas like this, and you know, um, so that's kind of like if I want this to be like ongoing series or more limited run where each backstory is gradually revealed. Um, so I said I'm not really sure yet if it's going to be an ongoing series. Need to have a really cohesive plot that has a lot of twists and turns, that's really thoughtfully executed. The limited run may be better, but the split by ear, if it does well, can be expanded. I want to leave room for both options. Alright, so it's a leaving room for both options. A smart approach. It'll structure the story in a way that the first series or limited run focuses on a central mystery or conflict within the world of jobbers, uh, something that ties all their backstories together, Maybe it could be a scandal in the wrestling business or an unexpected opportunity for one of the jobbers to break out, or maybe even major event that forces them to come together. If it becomes an ongoing series, the central conflict could evolve with deeper layers of politics and betrayal and personal ambition coming to light. It could even expand to explore how the business impacts their families' relationships, or how their reputation as jobbers affects their legacy. It could also include major twists, like one jobber finally getting the break, only for it to come at a heavy cost or a hidden agenda of one of the or a hidden agenda of one of the veterans that reshapes the direction of the series, even essential conflicts or key twists that they explore. Um, I don't know. So I was saying like accepting the bitter parts of not everybody gets the chance to be like a megastar. Not everybody gets a chance to be like a LA Knight, right? The megastar. There's no merch, no raving fans. There may be outliers that get a chance, like James Ellsworth. Ellsworth is. He got a chance to be on regular TV for a long time, but he's typically one of those guys that would be considered like a jobber. So, um, so the angle, so he said the angle that angle really adds emotional weight to the story. Accepting the dream of being a metal star is likely out of reach. You can explore how each jobber handles that truth differently. Some might embrace the role as craftsman who keep the show running, while others might feel crushed by the weight of the missed opportunities. You could explore um, where some jobbers come close to breaking through, only to face setbacks that remind them of their place in the hierarchy. Maybe they also get like a taste, like a brief taste, a brief viral moment or a surprise win, only to fall back into obscurity, reinforcing that 0.001% reality, right? Yeah. Um, yeah, maybe a skeptical jobber purists. Yeah, so like, um, they asked me like if I wanted like add any specific thing to the series, which would be like anything like obstruction or like let's say a foil, I guess. So yeah, so I wanted like a skeptical group of jobber purists that are also against jobbers having their few minutes of fame. And so I went through that. I said like the purists could be an intriguing layer of conflict. The purists could view jobbing as a noble profession and feel chasing fame, even for a moment, undermines their craft. They could act as a counterforce to the younger, more ambitious jobbers who still hope for their breakout moment. The purists might have a philosophy about the proper role for a jobber, believing that a jobber who tries to rise above their station betrays the essence of wrestling. This could lead to tension with different factions forming within the group, making for interesting debates and conflicts about what it means to succeed in the business. Um, all right, yeah. So it went even deeper because what if maybe we could have even esteemed jobber families, like how you have like the Guerreros, the Mysterios, the McMahons, um, what if we had like jobber families that were, the same way within the jobber community, like esteemed families that had their own like mantras and jobber styles, adding like a layer. So I asked it, okay, and then as I gave it, give me chapter one. Um, Let me know if you want to see chapter one. And so this is like I'll have ideas like this, but I don't really turn all of them into videos. I may turn them into like books and stuff. Because otherwise, all right, let me show you another one on my. All right, let me give me a second. All right, so if you go on Wattpad and type in Azari Prince stories, that's Azari underscore Prince underscore stories. There's a story that I did a while back. It's also wrestling related, but it's kind of different from this one. So the jobbers could be a more interesting story if I, but I kind of have to um, go a bit smaller, at least in the first part, to kind of keep it more cohesive. But just I want to show you something here. All right, so this one, another story. All right, so the drunken legend, second chance at wrestling greatness. So let me show you this story here. I did, I think it was back in 2020, like yeah, 2023. Um, all right, let's look at the details here. So, alright, so Drunken Legend Second Chance at Wrestling Greatness is a thrilling web novel about Jacob, a Jamaican born alcoholic who always dreamed about becoming a wrestling professional. After dying at a young age, he's unexpectedly brought back in time to a place where he could change his destiny. Determined to make the most out of his second chance, he enrolls in wrestling school to learn the ins and outs of the business. Throughout the story, Jacob faces many challenges and obstacles as he strives to become the greatest wrestler of all time. He develops a unique character based on his drunken past, a brawler with a big personality that sets himself apart from other wrestlers. Along the way, he forms close friendships with and alliances with fellow wrestlers, but also faces opposition from jealous rivals who are trying to bring him down. As Jacob rises through the ranks of the wrestling world, he must confront his past demons and fight to maintain his newfound success with action packed matches, gripping drama, and heartfelt moments of triumphs and tragedy. The Drunken Legend is a must read for fans of professional wrestling and for anyone who loves story of redemption and second chances. So yeah, it's three parts. If you want to look at that, it's called the Drunken Legend: A Second Chance at Wrestling Greatness. All right. So yeah. So I guess that's it. If you're interested in like supporting the channel, I've also created like some wrestling merch type stuff too. Um, I don't know. If you feel like you want to, let me show you some of them. All right. Let me see. All right. So if you go back and let's say you go to the go to the all right. Let's say you go to my channel. All right. These I have a son, so he loves this stuff. All right. Let's go to my channel. All right. Give me a second here. Uh, Alright, let's go to my channel. Alright, so if you want to support the channel, I've created some wrestling merch. I just like my stories are kind of different in the sense. So I'll show you some. Alright, so you have the drop kick tees, the ankle lock socks. So you can just go to the channel and click on one of these. Even the big back championship tees. Alright, so let's look at these, right? So the big back championship tees, uh, this is one of them. You have yeah, so just like everything else, I just kind of go a different direction with everything I do. So you have the North American Foodie Championship. If you want, yeah, North American Foodie Championship. You have the Intercontinental Breakfast 815 T-shirt. And it has even the little uh, promo here. So you sit there, you thumb your waffles, you say your breakfast prayers, and I didn't get you anywhere. You talk about your cereals, you talk about your yogurts. Hooligan 815 says, I just ate the best breakfast of my life. So yeah. So yeah, you can, so yeah, if you want to support the channel, you can always go and get something. Even if you don't wear it, you can always, just get something Yeah, so I have like the real frog splash tea right here. All right. Let's see. Otherwise, so there's a drop kick tea. So if you're going to like a wrestling event and you want to have something to let the wrestler know where to kick you, so not like having to kick you in the face, but where to kick you in like in the chest to get the right angle. You can wear this. Yeah. So just like everything else, like very thoughtful, but nobody cares about that. This is the North American tea, the Intercontinental breakfast tea. To the Intercontinental, so the front part. Yeah, it's not loading for some reason. Let me reload this. Yeah, so the Intercontinental. For some reason, it's not showing up. I guess my internet may be acting up, but yeah, I can always get something from here. Be sure to subscribe to the channel also if you feel like it. And if you want me to do a video on something else, just let me know. But or if you want me to like go through chapter one of this story, I don't know. Chapter one, the Fall Guy. Alright, let's look at a little bit of it. Okay, that okay. So the roar of the crowd echoes through the massive arena, a canopy of excitement, anticipation, and raw energy. Under the blinding spotlight, the executioner Knox towered over his opponent, an imposing and figure with dripping with intensity. His opponent, on the other hand, lay sprawled on the mat, struggling to pull himself up. The Fall Guy, just another jobber, doing what he did best. Marcus the Mule Malone wasn't just any jobber. He was second generational. He was a second generation professional, born into the world of wrestling, where his family had made a name for themselves, not by climbing to the top, but by mastering the art of staying at the bottom. The bottom, at the bottom. Malone family was respected in certain circles for their flawless ability to lose, to elevate their opponent, to make them look invincible, and Marcus, despite his personal ambitions, was no exception. The sound of Knox's boot stomping into the mat next to Marcus's head snapped him out of his daze. The crowd popped, reacting to Knox as he delivered the final blow. Marcus's body acted on instinct. He staggered to his feet just in time to catch the next move, a clothesline so brutal that Marcus fell. Oh, that Marcus felt his feet leave the ground. He sold the move like a pro, flipping in the air and landing on his back. The ref counting. Well, the ref fell to his knees, counting out the familiar 1, 2, 3. It was over. Another day at the office. And there's a lot more. Yeah, so yeah, ideas like this, AI kind of helps you to kind of bring to life. So if you have like a book idea, or I did a video on like a dream, um, not too long ago. Let's say you had like a dream, intense dream that you believe could be like a book. You can always, let's say you're not really a good writer, you can always use AI to kind of help you to flesh out the idea and even help you to write the first chapter. And if it writes one that's not like fully in line with what you have in mind, you can always like edit it and make it, more of what you want. So if it, you can either prompt it to be more of what you want, or you can also, let's say you take the structure, like making the ideas a bit more coherent, like having the outline be written. You can always take the outline and write a book from that